So let's have a look at the Spectrum M2 in its box and how we connect that to the G90 rig here. The Spectrum scope and DSP can connect to any radio, but we're going to start here with the G90, which is a nice radio set, albeit with a slightly small screen. So instructions and a warranty card in the box. And then inside the box we have the Spectrum. For the G90 customs we've got a preamplifier because the IQ output's quite low. So let's have a look at the unit itself. Okay, we've got a debug and a programming connection, 5-volt power connection, the IQ connection, headphones or speaker. This is the USB which can connect to a PC, so this will control the rig via CAT, but the Spectrum itself can be controlled from the PC, so it's a bridging for logging applications and remote Spectrum on your PC. A CAT connection, and the external is configured for a PA switching, which mutes the audio from the Spectrum here. Okay, so it's a stylus in the box, and the cables are provided so that everything can be quickly hooked up. Okay, so basically we've got the output from the preamplifier, and then the preamplifier connects to the IQ connector on the G90. So that's connected to the G90. Then of course we've got to connect, hang on, let's get that right, IQ, and then the CAT connection cable connecting into the CAT. Let's bring a little support for the Spectrum. Just move that across slightly so we get a better view. Okay, and then we have to connect power. That's the power for the preamplifier. And then we're using DC-DC converter. Which is a very high efficiency DC converter, so it's ideal for mobile use. Okay, slight problem, upside down. Okay, so as you can see the Spectrum's up and running. If you can see the screen on the G90, it's let's connect the This is now the audio from the Spectrum. So now the IQ is being decoded by the Spectrum. So we're fully up and running. Now we've got the Spectrum here, which is 48 kilohertz. Let's just up the tuning rate because otherwise we'll be here forever. And you can see the signal here coming in. Will only show on the G90 screen when it reaches this point here, and there you can see it coming in. That's the same signal. So obviously we've got 192 kilohertz here, but 48 kilohertz here, so it's just between the point here and here is the spectrum showing on the G90. So that's the audio from the Spectrum. And from the G90. And back to the Spectrum. And then I can activate what doesn't really need noise reduction, but so what it probably there you go. The notch takes out that high-pitched signal. So the notch filter, DSP filter, is perfect for taking out that sort of interference. So obviously with the Spectrum we can see a lot more of the band, which is the primary purpose of the Spectrum. So we can get virtually, well, all of 40 meters and most of 20 meters. So that's the audio from the Spectrum again, and switching to the audio. And then switching back to the Spectrum. There's less background noise. It's noticeable, especially between people talking. The background noise doesn't really come up. But obviously the DSP noise reduction with the notch filter is a nice feature for these noisy bands. Okay, so to switch over to make the Spectrum the master, we just click on the menu, drop down one position, open up that menu, and here you can see it says Xiegu G90. And obviously there we've got the list of all the rigs, and then switching it from slave to master. So now we have control from the Spectrum, and as you can see, what I can do is so it's now tracking the control from the stylus, but I can also switch to what we call slip tune here, and then I've got free independent tuning. So it's very, very easy to tune across the whole 200 kilohertz without actually touching the rig. And then when you find the station, I've got beeping enabled, which is why we're getting this beeping, so not really a good idea for tuning. And then when we want to switch back to using the rig, we just click on slip tune, and the rig synchronizes to the Spectrum. So we can hunt for signals with the Spectrum, and then when we find the station we want to talk to, we just click slip tune, and we're back on frequency with the main rig. So it's a great way of tuning around without actually having to wear out your little encoder there. Personally, as a G90 user myself, I do like it. It's really a nice feature. Anyway, so we can also switch to the dial here. This is very good for fine tuning, or we can switch it into a faster mode, and it's very, very accurate. So it's a really nice dial. It's now working very, very smoothly, as you can see. So yeah, this is quite fun. The slip tune dial here is also very good to use. I'm going to turn that beep off if I can remember the menu. Okay, maybe I'll leave that for another another video. So basically there it is. If you like, you can put it on top of the Xiegu, or obviously operate it from the side. Just two connections to the G90, which is the CAT control and the IQ cable. Little preamplifier which is included with that extra charge. A DC-DC converter cable to run off 12 volts, but otherwise running off batteries, portable, so you can have a portable Spectrum. Then it's very efficient, very lightweight on your batteries. The screen, as you can see here, is highly configurable. And of course we can zoom in. Okay, let me take that off. And there it is, basically a very quick out-of-the-box experience for the Spectrum unit, which has really been a project, if you like, made out of love, because I've got an old SGC 2020 and I really wanted to have a Spectrum display on that, which is why this project happened. And also found that it works really well with the G90. I've incorporated the protocols for ICOM, Kenwood, Yaesu, and that covers virtually all the rigs out there. So Alinco, for example, Elecraft, USDX. This with the USDX, it's quite incredible because some of the USDXs are really quite good when played with a little bit, and this hooked up to the USDX gives you the full 192 kilohertz and vastly better audio. And that's it. So yeah, please let us know your thoughts, and I'll be making more videos focused on smaller functional elements of the Spectrum M2 unit. Thanks very much for listening.